Hello, everyone. My name is Mark, and this is a series on how to pray for the nation of Israel. I'm sure everyone is aware of the attacks on Israel that started on October 7th, 2023. As a Bible believing Christian, it's hard to know how to properly pray for Israel in these times. I want to share some thoughts with you on this subject. This is part two. So, what does the Bible tell us about how to pray for the nation of Israel? In Psalms 122, verse 6, it says, "Pray for peace in Jerusalem. May all who love this city prosper." If you have studied any history of the Middle East, you will know that the city of Jerusalem has been conquered and reconquered, destroyed and rebuilt many times since the time of Abraham. Even to this day, there are four distinct quarters of Jerusalem where many different nationalities and people groups live together. I've seen this personally. Praying for the peace of Jerusalem is certainly needed and is very easy to understand and is something all Bible believing Christians should do on a regular basis. But I don't think that's enough. It's not just about praying for peace in a physical place, whether that's Jerusalem or the entire land of Israel. God wants the hearts of his people, the Jews, and he longs for a close relationship with them. This is also true for Christians, but we're focusing on the people of Israel here. Israel's covenant relationship with God, then and now, is based on the written Torah, the first five books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. My thoughts about this type of spiritual revival are focused on the book of Exodus, chapter 20, where Moses receives the Ten Commandments from God, especially the ones around idols. After Moses led the Israelites out of slavery and Egypt, Joshua led the people into the land where Israel is currently located. After the death of Joshua in the book of Judges in the Bible, you see the following pattern over and over again. First, the Israelites stop worshiping and serving the God of Israel and start worshiping the gods of the nations that remained in the land. Second, God allows Israel to be oppressed by those peoples and nations for some years. Third, the Israelites cry out to God for help and rescue, turn away from their sins, and come back to God. Fourth, God raises up a judge who rescues his people militarily and frees them from their slavery. Fifth, the Israelites stay faithful to God during the lifetime of that judge. And sixth, go back to step one. Now, we who are Christians should be careful not to judge the Israelites and say, "Oh, I'd never worship Baal or some other god like they did." Don't be so sure. If we pursue money or status or fame or power, aren't we doing the same thing, pushing God out of his rightful place in our lives for something else? That's the root of what Israel did. And this brings us to the point I'm trying to make. We should be praying for the spiritual revival of the people of Israel as well, not just their physical safety. In the cycle of the Judges, after God's judge delivers the people from their immediate crisis, what keeps calamity at bay? It's the spiritual revival of the people, keeping steadfast in the worship of God alone and following his commands. I'm convinced that there must be a revival in Israel so that this past pattern can be broken. So, what does this look like? Micah chapter 6, verse 8 gives us a general idea. "Know, O people, the Lord has told you what is good, and this is what he requires of you: to do what is right, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." So, how would this spiritual revival come about? I'm not quite sure, but that shouldn't stop us for praying in alignment with God's will that his people would come back to him. In the next part of this series, we'll look at the prayer that I'm using to pray for the nation of Israel.